Good morning, everybody, and welcome back inside the Qplex here at Quispamsis, New Brunswick for game number 2 of this weekend set between the visiting Cape Breton Lynx and the hometown Fundy Kraken. The Kraken took a 3-2 shootout victory, backstopped by a 60-save performance from Mika Chason, who will get her second start in as many days here, and rightfully so, sticking with the hot hand. And starting this morning for the Lynx is number 31, Ellie Power. Once again, my name is Matt Dudley for High Button Sports. We thank you for tuning in. Grab your coffee or whatever it takes to get you going on this Sunday. And buckle up. We're ready for another game here of the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League. Another full action packed day here on the High Button Sports channels. All U18 female teams in action here, and you can catch those all on our homepage and YouTube. So hang tight. Teams get settled here. The refs are going to grab the pucks just underneath us. And we'll get ready for puck drop here in just a second. "20 minutes up on the board here. Not sure entirely what the holdup is. Kind of threw a pin into the intro a little bit, but no big deal. The officials, maybe something to do with the net, which would be a pretty good guess considering they're all standing down there. So I guess while we have a second tough loss for that Team Atlantic team we were talking about. Fell 3-1 to a strong Quebec team yesterday, but all the Atlantic provinces very proud of that effort that they put in. They snuck into the quarterfinal and then kind of ran the table until the championship game, but neither here nor there. Congrats to Team Atlantic, and we now are underway here in the Qplex. Gabriel getting the start here. She'll move it across for Angioni. Call up getting the start here for the Kraken. Puck stays down in the corner, trying to find the roster, doesn't seem to be on there. It's an early chance there for the Kraken. Coming off the momentum here a little bit this morning. We'll see if they can hold it up. Is Austin able to chip that puck out into the neutral zone now? Duguay being chased there by Landry. She'll lean on her. Duguay's just going to muscle through. Lost the puck though. Gabriel takes the partner pass. She'll move it back for McGinnis, who I thought had a very strong game last night. A lot of people did. Just one name that comes to mind. It's Gabriel up the left side for the captain, Landry. Rolls off her stick. She tries to pull it by Boutlier, but Boutlier is able to get that puck back inside the zone. Partner pass across. Worked in behind the goal now, Gabriel. Good press here from the Kraken early. Into the high slot. Becks with a slap shot there, and that hit McNeil in the ankle, and that one ain't gonna feel too good later on, but she'll deal with it for now. Once you take that skate off is kind of the scare, as a shot there was tipped. So number 20, Hannah Coleman here for the Kraken as they update the live roster. At the right side now as Bex picks up the outlet pass. In behind, all Kraken here to start. Gabriel, last night at this point, the Lynx had already scored less than 2 minutes into the game. Dangerous move there at the defensive blue line, but it was poked off the stick. Now as Beck's battling. Back for it is Duguay. She's got Brown on her. Fires it over to the far corner. Pass into the slot. Somerville trying to poke that puck free and out of the zone. Now Dickey in there to help out. Taken away by Cremo down the left side. She's going to fire one. First save made there by Chason. Interesting note too. Both goaltenders for the Kraken, the lefties. Not often you see that. A lot more common now than it's ever been though, however. It's Vickers. Gets the red line. She's going to get it in deep. Chason out to play it. Bouncing puck. Leaves it there, but it's Cremo in there first as she's relentless on that forecheck. Good rub out down there on the wall. The puck comes up to the blue line, not out as Richard came through. Back in behind the goal. Picked up by Duguay. Duguay cuts back to the middle. She's going to try and take some ice here. Had it poked off her stick there for just a moment, but she regains possession. In over the line she goes. A shot there was blocked by McLean. Richard now looking for that loose puck. It's going to come back to the point. Wilcox tried the cutback move, ran out of real estate. This comes back to the point there from Marshall. Towards the goal. Not quite there as Morel steps in and intercepts, and she'll carry now. She's going to get the red line, get it in deep, and she'll head for a change. Behind the goal now. Back up to the point. McGinnis got there just as the line change was finishing up, so that one rolled through her feet. And it's going to go all the way down into the Lynx zone. Andrews across. McGinnis, some fancy footwork there. She runs through a little bit of a spinorama, and now she's going to dump that in, and they're going to say it's icing. So just from the wrong side of the red line, says the official. So we're going to go back down inside the Lynx end zone here to the right side of Ellie Power. So the Lynx looking for a bounce-back game here. Listen, they did everything they possibly could last night to get that W. They fired 60-some-odd shots towards Chason. And sometimes you run into a hot goalie, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But with that said, they're looking for a little bit of bounce-back here today, just to make that drive home a little bit more fun. So play continues here. Angioni picks up the outlet pass. She'll chip it out into the neutral zone area. And now we're going to have a penalty here to the Kraken. And we'll have our first power play of the game, and it's going to go to, looks like number 11 there in your screen, Lauren Little. That is, in fact, who it is. So Little had a goal in last night's game. And now she's going to sit for two, so not. So we're going to go to the left side now of Chason. Face-off tied up. Trying to pull it out of a crowd was Landry. It's going to be ripped around all the way to the far side now. Vickers moves it over to the middle of the ice for Gabriel. Gabriel over to Angioni. Angioni towards the goal. Chason kicks it aside. Landry behind the goal. Flips it up to the right side for Vickers. Across for Gabriel at the top. She's going to turn and fire. That was blocked, and now that's going to be sent the length of the ice. And the Kraken coach saying go, go, go. They want to press here on the penalty kill, but that first pass is going to be two forecheckers, and that's the downside of that is a stretch pass up the left side off the stick of Landry, so that'll negate the icing as she's able to get there first and fling it around for Angioni. Angioni back for McGinnis, who started to move towards the middle of the ice and wasn't able to find that puck, so the Lynx will regroup here in the neutral zone as Vickers carries. Real good skaters, Vickers. We mentioned it last night. She's going to try and move it up top for McGinnis. Vickers, I don't think she realized she had Garnett on her. So that's going to be pushed down the ice. McGinnis across. It's going to be picked up by Layla Austin. Austin, nice move into the middle of the ice. She'll try and find a lane here. She steps around Garnett over to the left side for McLean. Good job by the Lynx to stay on side. Stopped up. Pushed it back up top. Danny Ray McGinnis now at the middle of the point. Shot towards the goal was stopped along the way, and now that one's going to be sent the length. So that one goes down on to Power. She'll flip it for McGinnis. McGinnis up the left side. Had it turned over. Another noteworthy call up here. Number 47, Susan Noteworthy. And like I said, number 20, Hannah Coleman. So getting some good ice time here as they're both on the ice now. Getting their taste now. Coleman got a game in last night as the penalty expires and the puck goes on to Chason. And that will be held on to and covered up here. Shots now 3 apiece. Across the blue line. Great call there by the official right on the blue line to make that call. And from up at this vantage point, certainly looked like the right one. Into the corner now. Landry tried to find McEachern. No front. She blew a tire, though, on the way to the front of the net. So that chance goes by the wayside. Towards the goal. Chason watches that one Squirt through the crease, and it's going to be pushed back up. Gabriel now cut back move. She runs into 2 blue jerseys. As the Kraken will exit the zone now. It's going to get down inside the zone. On the chase there was Somerville, but it's Morrell who flips it around to the far side for Landry. Landry chips it up for McEachern. McEachern through the middle of the ice now for Brown. Good clean breakout there for the Lynx, but Bootlier comes across in support, and she eliminates the Lynx from entering the zone here now is Landry. She had that poked off her stick. Vickers in to help out, dumps it back in, but she hit Landry along the way. Over to the left side. Worked in now. Peruch trying to get free. Chase on. She'll get the twig going and poke that one into the corner. Vickers towards the goal. Nice save there made by Chase on. Just square to the shooter. Out at the top of the crease. Tracking that puck. Cremo turns, fires. Chase on. The kick save. The rebound's loose. Angioni got a piece of it, but it was Bootlier there to intercept. In the corner. Fake dump out and then a move. Vickers pinches down as she activates. Angioni across the top of the circle. She'll fire it across there for McLean. McLean right point. Didn't have a lane to the net, so she dumps it in deep. Peruch. And behind the goal. One-time chance there. Chase on the save. Cremo didn't get quite what she wanted on it. And oh, that was a really awkward looking play there. So it looks like we're going to have our second penalty of the game here. And that one's going to go to number 19, Gabrielle Legier. So she'll sit for 2, maybe less. So the puck is down now. Work around to the top left side. Vickers back into the middle. Gabriel tried to get a shot back to that seam, but it was Garnett in the lane, and she's going to get a stick on that. Just a little bit of a soft pass there from Vickers is intercepted, so the Lynx will have to re-rack here in the neutral zone. Gabriel ran into Bex. Turned and fired. It's noteworthy getting some penalty kill time here. The Lynx head north now. Vickers with a head of steam. She'll walk in over the line. Moving too quick to keep the puck. But it will stay inside the zone there just for a moment as Gabriel got a piece of it but wasn't able to hold the line. Angioni, nice move. She gets in, shot there. Chaseau kicked that aside. Angioni back on that loose puck. Now she'll swing it up for McGinnis at the right point. McGinnis will work to the middle of the ice. She fires a shot. That was blocked. Garnett on that loose puck comes all the way to the left point and not out. Danny Ray McGinnis. Shot there, looking for that deflection at the side of the goal, but it rolls into the corner. Beck's trying to find that loose puck. She gets it up to the blue line, and great job there on a rush play from McGinnis as she held the line for a moment, but now it will squeak out into the neutral zone area. McLean. And over the line, she's just going to fire a shot there. Chase saw the save. The rebound comes free. Back up to the point. They're going to try again. Over to the left side now. Good support there from McLean. She fires. Tipped in front there. That one off the post. McNeil got a stick on it. Back up top. 25 seconds left to go here in the power play. Austin. Spin around. Back to McGinnis. McGinnis down low. Back up for Austin. Austin fires there. Shot there off the crossbar. And no, they say it's in. So Layla Austin breaks the deadlock here. 17 seconds left in the power play, and the Lynx strike first once again. So we don't have replays, folks, but what you can do is rewind a little bit on the stream and decide for yourself now. Even if you find out that it didn't go in, it really isn't going to help matters much, but for the sake of having a peek, go back and check that one out. Regardless of that, Austin gets a goal here for the Lynx, and they get on the board early. You know, right away, see a little bit more electricity in the legs there. Landry, a shot there, Chase on the save. That goal was Austin from Avery McNeil. That'll be Layla Austin's third goal of the season, according to my notes. Back out through the neutral zone now. Vickers just going to fire that in deep. The Lynx will have to regroup here in the neutral zone. They're going to get back on the attack here. Dickey. Backhanded. Wilcox, good job to come and meet that puck. Comes back to the blue line. Vickers held it in for a moment, but now it's going to be picked up here by Dickey as she makes her way down the right side. She's going to muster through now. She gets down into there. Morel pushes her into the end wall. For a call there, maybe. If I don't get it, there's a shot there. Power the save. Morel clears the rebound. She'll cut back in behind her own net. Morel is going to carry. Drain into a defender. Now she's going to chip and chase, so she might get in there first on that puck, but it's Chase on. So to play it there, acting as the third defender. Always a little bit tougher to get kind of situated on the forecheck when the goaltender's able to do it. As Landry now back door there. Oh, what a save, Chase on. Morel point blank. And once again, coming up huge for her Kraken squad. So that's going to be poked off the stick now as Landry will have to go back for it. Captain versus captain here as Heidi Beck's on her, and she passed it. Not sure if it was a pass or a clearing attempt, but it hit the side of the goal. So that's going to be ripped around to the far side now. Duguay chipped off the wall. Austin. Richard now. Morel chips it free. Couldn't get it to Peruch. It's going to be picked up by Somerville. She's going to chip it in deep. Trying to get the red line there was Gabriel. Back up top, McGinnis activates from the left point. Now it's going to be ripped the length of the ice. And we are going to have icing waved off. Liney might have football plans later. He wants to keep it rolling here, but a really good pace of play here. And sometimes that is the name of the game as the official. Pace of play, similar to golf for those of you that do. And McLean drills the ref on the dump in there, and that one going to sting a little bit. Not a whole lot of gear for the officials as they fight for it at the side of the goal. Now it's Coleman up the left side. Gets bumped off there by McNeil. McNeil swings it back to her defender, but it's going to go too far and back into the zone. Up the left side, Brown got a stick on it. That'll get all the way in on the chase on. And she'll cover it up here with 7:10 left to go now here in this first period. So to the glove side now of make a chase on. The Kraken trying to get it out of the zone. Successful in doing so as Angioni will collect. Morel. Chip and chase. She's going to get in on the forecheck now. She'll race against Bex there. Angioni in to help out. Pinned up, still in the corner, but it's pulled free. Kraken, Bootlier gets a stick on it. Vickers shot, tipped in front. Nobody home back door. Now is Bex on that loose puck. She'll reverse it back for Marshall. Marshall up the left side. Through the middle of the ice. Wilcox couldn't find the loose puck. Bex chipped that, and that one's going to hit the stick in the bench area, and that's going to be whistled down as the face-off will come back out into the neutral zone. Face off now. Tangled up off the draw. Kraken able to find it. Somerville battling down there to get that puck in deep as McGinnis fires it in behind for Gabriel. Gabriel. She's going to find some space. Fires a cross-ice pass. That's going to get to Landry in behind the D. A 2-on-0 with McEachran. Landry shot there. Tried to go top blocker and sailed it over the net. Chip back down low. Austin, the goal scorer so far. Couldn't get the puck to her teammate as that's going to be pushed back out into the neutral zone. Chipped off the wall. Looks like that's going to go down for an icing call here as we'll flip it around here to the Lynx end zone. Another action around the MMGHL. The Surge and Flames over in Fredericton. Still scoreless. Just 7 minutes into the first period. In behind the net. It's going to be moved up the right side. That's the only other game on tap right now until about 12 o'clock time. It's Austin. He's going to chip that in deep. Busy family, those Austins. Nova's hosting the Gulls today in Antigonish. And of course, the Lynx here in Fredericton. So shout out to them, I guess. It's a tough gig sometimes, but it's all worth it in the end. Vickers now. Shot there off the melon there of Chason. That'll go down as a save. Let's work back to the point. Trying to find a lane. They couldn't, as Vickers is going to have to head back and collect here. 4:45 left to go here in this first period. A 1-0 lead for the Lynx is where we stand thus far. 12-5. The shots on goal here in favor of the visiting Cape Breton squad. Something's going to be rimmed around the far side, and that generally will slow down in front of the bench areas with all that snow there from stopping in front. There's Vickers now. She'll fire a hard pass through for Peruch. Peruch across from McNeil. McNeil tried to move it into the middle, and it's going to be taken here by Little. Little chipped through the middle. Bootleer now. Nice move. She makes another nice move. Angione tried to get a stick on it. That one hit the official. Now is Legier's just going to one-touch that one right into the zone. It bounces out into the crease of Power. Wasn't phased one bit. Gabriel fires that across for Angione. Angione tried to fire it back. It's Gabriel following up. She's going to find that loose puck. Chipped it over to Angione now. Enters the zone. She's going to work in on the left side. Stopped up. Good move. She'll hit the trailer. Morel on the right side. Shot there. The rebound. Another nice save. Chason down, and the puck is poked free. Towards the goal once again. Whacked at. Second chance. And once again, Chason there to make the save. She will hang on for this one. 3:36 left to go now here in the first. Thank you all for tuning in wherever you may be from. One of the best parts about this gig, other than being in the arena, is knowing that people will get to watch their family members regardless of where they would be. Technology these days allowing us to do so, as that shot towards the goal is kicked aside. Gabriel drags into the middle for Angione. Angione shot there. The glove save made by Chason. She's out at the top of the crease once again. So Kraken doing a real good job. They're leaving a little bit of space out up at the top of the circles, but they're taking care of that danger area in front of the net. And that allows Chason to get out and challenge those shooters, knowing that the defender has that backdoor option covered. So teamwork all around. Once again, the Lynx just firing everything they can towards them. And they do lead this game right now. Primo shot there. It was kind of knuckling. It's Angione now. Real good push here from the Lynx. Gabriel, left point, moved it back for Angione. Shot there. That goes up and over the goal. Uncontested. Chipped up the left side. That one will get outside the zone. Now as Gabriel will pivot. She fires it across for Morel. Morel's got Cremo at the back door. She tried to get it there. Luckily, the Kraken got a stick on it there. Good defensive stick. Bootleer. It's an absolute battle in front here. It's McGinnis. Drags, shoots through a crowd. Rebound off the pad. And that one rolled through the crease. Bex is going to try and carry it here. She's going to chip by, and they're going to call that icing, as Bex was upended at the offensive red line. So we're down to the left side here, just under 2.5 minutes to go. Towards the goal, Chason made the initial save. Oh, front opportunity there. Great stick Bootleer she got there in a hurry. Back up top, McGinnis all alone on the left side. Shot there, that was blocked. Noteworthy. Making an impression early as she's sacrificing the body for her squad. Now she's going to turn. She fired that end into the midsection of McGinnis. I don't care who you are. There's no gear right there. All the way down on. Towards the goal, Brown now, couldn't get it there. Towards the goal. And now it's going to come outside the zone, chip right back in. Partner pass across, Morel will rip it back around to the other side. Landry down to pick it up as we're in the final minute of play here in the first period as Vickers now will pick that puck up. She's going to head north, and she didn't quite get the red line, so she's going to be charged with an icing call here with 53.8 seconds. Landry now, late in this period, she'll work down the left side, stopped up. Now she's just going to cycle it down low, gets it by LeBlanc. Pinned up in the corner, trying to pull it free. Out front there, Chason whacks it away. As Beck's now going to try and chip that free. Gets it out there. Didn't get too far now as McGinnis picks it up. She battles at that red line. Unable to get it deep though. Now as Angione collects off the bench. Gabriel lofted up and over. That one will get in behind. Perfect dump there right in behind the net now is Noteworthy around the far side. Wilcox able to get a stick on it. Chips it through the middle. Good job by Garnett to stop on pucks. Garnett, nice move. She faked the shot. Now she's tripped up there, and we're going to see right at the end of the period here, 0.8 seconds. So a penalty here for Angione. So 0.8 seconds left. They're going to try and whack this off the face-off here. And that will do it here. So little time left, no seconds ticked off the penalty clock. So that's going to do it here for the first 20. 1-0 lead here for the Lynx is where we stand. 20-5 the shots on goal in favor of Cape Breton. So we'll head to the intermission, and we will be back with second period action. You're watching the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League here on High Button Sports. Hang tight, we'll be back shortly. right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. Second period just about underway. Both teams back on the ice. Referees out here as well. A 1-0 lead for the Lynx. Going into the second period, 20 minutes on the board. And the Lynx will start the period shorthanded. Zangione in the box here for Cape Breton. Tied up off the draw. Dickey back for Noteworthy. Noteworthy around the left side. Pinned up against the wall, just trying to kill some time here. Looked back. McGinnis, she's going to fire one towards the end zone here as Landry. And on the forecheck. She's taken down, play continues. Worked around now by Noteworthy, had that poked off her stick. But now we're going to have the net off the pegs. So now just minute 21 left to go on the power play. Grimo looking off the draw here. She fires it back for Vickers, who wanted that puck right away. Shot there, that was blocked. Up the left side, Morel holds the line. So Kraken coach wasn't too happy with his team at the end of the period there. Didn't really get to hear what he said, but pretty animated. Not sure if that's how he always is. Haven't spent enough time here, to be honest, but I think he saw how they could play last night and wants that same effort here today. Somerville now. Offside waved off. Morel lost her mitt. The puck pinned up in the corner down there. Still tied up down there, killing this penalty. It's Morel now. Behind the net, went to shoot, fanned on it. Back to the point, Duguay shot there. That one goes up and over the net. Power didn't see it. Luckily it goes up and over. Back. Held in by Bex as that goes down into the corner. 12 seconds left to go here in the power play. Vickers fires that up. Bootlier holds it in with her foot. Shot there. Power the save as two players collide in the middle of the ice. And that's going to do it here as we're back to even strength. Angione back into the gameplay, and she's way behind the D. Saucer pass up the right side. Angione got a stick on it. Now Duguay will peel it into the crowd, down the right side. Now poked into the corner. Reversed around the far side, Angione. Couldn't get it by. Great job by Coleman. Morel chipped in behind. Back up to the point, unable to get it out though. Is Duguay there to hold it. Morel, once again, in behind her own net. She's going to stop up. Ricketson in there on the forecheck. She pins it up, and it's swooped in and picked up by McNeil. Shot towards the goal there from McNeil. She'll get in on the second chance there, and she's going to hold the line. And now it's going to be lofted out in through the neutral zone. Icing going to be waved off right away here. Didn't have enough steam to make it the full length. McGinnis fires a beautiful stretch pass. The right side for Peruch. Leaves it there for Landry unintentionally, but it worked out. The right side chipped to the blue line. Over into the neutral zone, pinned up there just in front of the bench area. Now it's going to come free. Ava Landry, 1-on-2, had the puck poked off her stick. In behind. Reverse back the other way. Marshall off the wall. Morel pinches down and holds the zone. Good slot back there from Brown as she slotted back and held the fort down while Morrell pinched. Andrews chips it. Marshall trying to get it up the left side. They'll get it, and it will exit the zone now. But Morrell finds it, and she's going to get the red line and get it back in deep. Chase out to play it. Dickey back to collect. Cuts into the middle of the net there. Had to be careful as that was dangerous. Garnett now. We're just going to dump that one in. Gabriel wins that battle. She's going to find that loose puck. Gabriel now is just going to get that red line. Good job there. Good awareness by her. About a half step from the red line. You want to make sure you get that offensive red line there to eliminate that defensive zone face-off. Shot coming from a distance. Tipped in front there. High stick, but it's waved off now as the Kraken are first to touch up. Chason made the save regardless. And the rebound was quickly cleared. So in behind the goal once again. Lawand reverses the side. Over to the left side for McLean. Shot towards the front of the net there. That didn't quite make it. Vickers up top for Lawand. Tried to make a move. Couldn't get by Garnett, who kicks that puck out of the zone. So now Vickers is going to try and sneak in at the blue line, and they're going to call that one on the offside. She waited just long enough, or at least she thought. So stoppage in play here. So face off just outside the Kraken defensive blue line here in the neutral zone, right across from us. It's Gabriel. In over the line, and they're going to be called on the offside once again. That quick last step. At the blue line there, force them to be offside. Face-off won by the Kraken. Dickey had it poked off her stick. McEachern couldn't get free. Now Beck's in a foot race here with Gabriel. Beck's doesn't come away with the puck there as Gabriel picks it up through the middle of the ice. Peruch. Now it's the Kraken who take it. Up the left side now LeBlanc. Couldn't hang on long enough to make a play as Dickey comes flying through. Left it there for LeBlanc. LeBlanc across the top of the blue line. Back to the point, noteworthy. Couldn't quite hold the line. Cut back move. And now it's going to be whistled on a delayed penalty. It's going to be a cross-checking penalty, and it's going to go against number 16, Layla Austin. Or sorry, that's Isabel Peruch. Falsely accused Austin. Face off. Puck is cleared up to the point, but not out. And now it will get out as Duguay back to collect here in the neutral zone. She'll loop around. She'll go back the other way now. Landry on her. Gilliand wanted the chip. Puck inside the zone. Little. Got it free. Gilliand towards the front of the goal. Now it's going to be kicked free, and that's going to be sent the length of the ice. Jason out to play it. Up the right side. Kicked free into the neutral zone. Now it's going to be lofted down on the goal as Chasong redirects that one into the corner. Little leaves it there for Duguay just inside her own blue line. Now Duguay will carry. Nice move. She gets around the first four checker. Now Duguay, a shot there, up and over. And that one was off the glove and luckily rolled wide there. As Duguay thought she might have had one. Vickers slots in. Austin in on the forecheck. She's pinned up against the wall, and the puck comes free for Dickey. Dickey spins off Landry, and she'll get in behind her own net. 37 seconds left to go here in the power play. LeBlanc on the left side. Takes that pass, tried to force it through the middle. But it's McNeil, tucks under the defender. Lost her stick, now LeBlanc back the other way. 2-on-2 forming here. And over the line, cut back, good job to sell. But she was gonna drive in deep and then cut back, wait for the trailer. Now LeBlanc, an opportunity to shoot, she does. And it's inside the gear of Ellie Power, and she's gonna hang on. So the shot's now 22-7 in favor of the Lynx. And there's 12 seconds left to go in their penalty. So that puck's gonna be cleared immediately. Rimmed around the far side. Nobody paying attention there as it comes free for McLean, and the penalty has expired as you see Peruch enter the screen. Cut back move, McNeil right away. Shot there, that one goes wide. Another shot from the point, deflected in front, and it was actually stopped along the way. Now into the corner, battling down there. Peruch and Noteworthy. We're gonna move it over to the right side here. It's Mills trying to get it in deep. Beck's come barreling through as well. Collected by the Lynx. The right side, Dickey got a stick on it. She's gonna have to wait for her team to get back on side, so she elects to dump it in deep. Bex went crashing in there. Her and McLean tumbling down to the ice, and a skate up to the face area there for McLean, and that's where you're thankful for those cages. Still pinned up down there. Ref right there telling them to move it. Puck's gonna come free now as Beck shovels it towards the goal, but it's gonna be found by Power, and she'll hang on. So we'll have a face-off just to the left side of Ellie Power now. 8 shots so far in the game against her. Primo trying to get off of the races. Duguay stepped up. Bootlier lost that puck in her feet as Cremo down the left side. She'll step in, shot there. That one goes wide and all the way around to the far side for Coleman. Coleman couldn't handle as Angioni finds it. Morel now trying to shovel that back in deep as the puck comes outside the blue line now in Somerville. Try to make a move as that puck looked like it may have stayed inside, but they're going to whistle it on the offside, so we'll have another stoppage of play. Over in the Surge versus Flames game. Still 0-0 in the second period. Just 5 minutes into that second frame. Well, Austin now. So carried inside the zone, dropped it back. Into the middle of the ice, Gabriel, she'll walk in. Shot there, that was a bullet, but it goes high and wide. Now it's at the side of the goal, and that's going to be covered up by Chason. So 9:40 left to go here as we pass the halfway mark of this game. Still a 1-0 lead for the Lynx. There's Austin, the goal scorer here earlier on in the first period. So puck's down, tied up off the face-off. Right off the draw, shot there, Chason flashing the leather quickly there. So we'll have another face-off right where we started, 9:34 now. Kraken are gonna find that puck. They'll loop back in their own zone now. Dickey being pressed by Landry. Now Lewan, Dickey able to get through them, but it's gonna be turned over. Opportunity shot there, tried to go high on the blocker side, but they missed the net. Worked in to the Lynx zone through the middle of the ice. You could hear Austin yelling for it from back, or from up here in the booth. It's gonna be dumped into the zone. Vickers back for it, and behind her own net. She's being funneled out from both sides here. It's the Kraken going full force press here. Noteworthy. Good play there, she fires it back. No need to panic. It's Dickey now. Tip that inside the zone. Power will leave it there for Vickers. Vickers out from behind her own net. She'll work into the middle of the ice, has to get by her own teammates plus the Kraken forecheckers, but she does so. She'll walk in over the blue line now. Down deep. In behind the net, tried to center, hit the back of the goal. As Mills couldn't hang on long enough to make a play, but the puck will get outside the zone as Landry fires it back for McGinnis. Cross-ice pass for McEachran. She tries to get it in deep, gets it as far as the face-off dot. Cross-ice pass once again. That'll get by everybody. Icing waved off. Chipped off the wall. Held in. Good job there as McNeil knew she grabbed it with the hand, so she had to be the first person to touch it. Now as it's shot there, that was tipped and just goes wide. Through the middle, Mills. Try to get it to her teammate. Now it's going to get in behind. Oh, and a nice play there by McGinnis. That puck gets a foot further through her legs. They're back the other way, 2-0, but a good defensive play there from Danny Ray McGinnis. Noteworthy. Partners it across. It's Dickey. Tried to send her teammate in behind. Puck gets lofted back down inside the Kraken zone. Lynx have to regroup, so that'll give some time for the Kraken here. Knocked down. Angione knocked it down, but thought it was the Kraken who touched it up first, but play's going to be whistled on the high stick. Cross ice for Morel off the ensuing face-off. She'll chip that in softly in the end zone. As Marshall goes back for it, she'll pick it up on the backhand. Press there from Peruch, who turns it over. Still inside the zone now, gets chipped out. Foot race back the other way. It's Coleman and Vickers. Vickers comes away with it. She's going to try and use her edge work to escape, and she will, but a good job by Coleman to press. Angione now. Through the middle of the ice, had it poked off her stick. Through the middle. Picked up. Vickers is going to switch sides this time. She'll get the blue line. She'll rip it in far corner all the way around. Chipped free. Coleman takes a bump there from Peruch towards the goal. That one goes wide as well. Morel now activating from the right point into the middle of the ice. Coleman moves that puck up. As LeBlanc couldn't hang on long enough as the puck gets pushed back down inside the zone. Brown looking for that loose puck. Lawand in there. Morel as well. Duguay chips it off the wall. Morel didn't budge. She holds the line, but the puck is pushed out into the neutral zone. Austin takes LeBlanc down. Chipped free by Garnett as it goes back down inside the Lynx defensive zone here. Austin picks it up. She'll move it up the right side for Lawand. Lawand trying to get by Duguay. Stepped right up. Duguay finds that loose puck. She's pushed off it by Brown. Brown now spinning back in transition. Trying to poke it free. Couldn't get around Boutlier. Austin now. Oh, front for Brown. Duguay, good tie up in front. Kicked aside by Chason. McLean into the middle. McEachran got a piece of it. And then Chason as well as that rolls into the corner. 5.5 left to go here in the second period. Austin back to the point. McGinnis a shot there into the glove, and that's going to be stopped and covered up. The Odertown scoreboard still 0-0 between the Flames and Surge. And the next game up will be the Selects and the Rockets from the Hector Arena, yet to get underway. That game starts at 12 o'clock. Up to the corner. Held in at the line. McEachran back down deep. McNeil trying to get freed up. Into the corner, centers it, and into the glove of Chason once again. And she'll hang on. We'll have a face-off to the blocker side now. Puck's down, cleanly won here by the Lynx. Control off the faceoff. Noteworthy intercepts it. She'll bank that out up to the blue line, but McGinnis who holds it. Landry, nice move all alone. Shot there, nice save made. Chase on with the blocker. Landry trying to center. Dickey got a stick on it. She turned around and looked for the puck. Comes back to the point as Gabriel holds the line towards the front of the net. Tipped in front, whacked at there as Landry got a piece of it. Rebound there, and that one just goes past that right post, and the net comes off the pegs. In the meantime, so we'll have another offensive zone face-off here, but it's going to be a penalty. And it's going to be Lauren Little again here. Not sure what the call was. Maybe a hook at the side of the goal. Referee just taking a quick peek at the net there. Wants to make sure he gets it in the right spot. Looks like we're ready to go now. So 4:43 left to go here in this second period. Still a 1-0 game. Dangerously now the shots 30-8, or sorry, 9. Landry spins around. There's some crazy battle in front here. Tired just watching it. Let's push back into the corner now. Releasing from out front there, trying to find Landry in the slot, but Dickey was there to intercept. She tries to clear it. She hits her own teammate, but now she has a second try. Makes no mistake here on this one. Gabriel up the left side for Vickers. Heads up over there as Bex ran into McNeil. And now back the other way goes Landry. Tried to spin around move. She's taken down there. Good battle over there in the corner. Vickers comes away with the puck. Cross for Gabriel. Gabriel across for Angione. Bounced over her stick. She'll spin back towards the blue line. Cross ice pass. Vickers has to go collect. Into the middle of the ice. Landry trying to slot it there. Nice play there. Gabriel knocked that one down. Now she's going to walk into the middle. Got an opportunity. Shot there. That one just missed on the glove side. That would have been quite the goal there. She knocked that one out of midair and then found herself in wide open spaces. Back for Angione. She couldn't handle it. Landry there to help out. Angione walks in. Shot there. That was blocked by Coleman. McNeil dumped in behind the goal. Towards the goal. Tipped in front there. That one goes wide. 33 seconds left to go here in the power play. Angione controls. She'll cycle it down deep. McNeil coming to help out. She'll fire it into the middle blindly. Nearly picked off, but McGinnis was there to save the day. Noteworthy now. That'll get just by McGinnis at the blue line, and that'll come out into the neutral zone. Up the left side, Landry takes the outlet pass. She'll cut back into the middle. Now she's going to create some space. And over the blue line, tried to poke it free through the middle. She'll get back on that loose puck. Opportunity, tried to go glove side, and Chason's going to have none of that. Once again, that lefty setup for the tendy maybe not confusing, but it just kind of throws you off there for a second as a shooter when you're used to going far side blocker and you look up and you shoot and it's just into the mitt. So, you know, just little things in the game that you don't think really mean too much, but could be a factor. So 2:46. Puck's down now. Just 2 seconds left. Now is Little. He's back into the play. An opportunity. Another rebound there. That one goes wide. Austin looking for her second of the game. Now is another shot towards. That's kicked out into the slot. Morell, another opportunity. Shot there, and not sure how Chason saw it. But she does, and she will glove it down and hang on. So Cremo and Heidi Beck's on the draw here to the left side of Chason. And they're going to have an illegal line change procedure, so they're going to send her back. So Bex will be tossed for the new center. Won't be able to be Little, as she was the culprit, in which that was the reason why. I don't know if that sentence made sense, but I gave you my best effort. Morell down for Austin. Austin tied up there, and now it's going to be poked free by Duguay. She tries to chip it by Morell. Unsuccessful in doing so. Now as Morell will flip it back into the middle. Lawan tried to swing it back for Vickers. Too far for her to reach. As Bex gets in on the forecheck. Into the middle of the ice for Cremo now. Cremo tried to go across for Austin. Austin couldn't hang on, but good heads up by her to get herself back on side before she played that puck. As that one's dumped into the Kraken zone. Dickey off the wall. Chipped, Little couldn't get it out. Austin holds the line. She comes across in the F3 position. Now the Kraken able to get it out. Final minute 40 here in the second. Through the middle of the ice. That's going to be chipped inside the zone. McEachran tied up on the way through, but she's going to come away with the puck. Karuch, nice move. Gets in all alone. Shot there, and once again with the glove, Chasson will cover it up. I don't know if I'm the Lynx shooters. I'm not shooting glove side. Chasson kicking out those big rebounds with the pads, and got beat earlier on the blocker side, so glove hand feels nicer. But when you got a glove hand like her right now, and not going to shoot it there, now we're going to have another late line change here. Mills is going to try and take the draw, and that's the thing, folks. If you're the last player onto the ice and you cause the slowdown, you cannot take that face-off. That's why sometimes you see like defensemen take the face-off, things like that. So McGinnis a shot there. That one was through a crowd, and once again, Chasson fighting, and she'll hang on. Picks off now. Puck is down. Everybody looking for that loose puck, but it's Wilcox who finds it. Wilcox pokes it up the right side. Had it poked off her stick. Now is McEachran just going to dump that in. We're in the final minute to play here in the second period. Kraken trying to get the puck out of their zone here. Chipped off the wall. Now it's going to come free. Wilcox. She's taken down. Now it's going to be a stretch pass up the middle of the ice. McEachran got a stick on it. Chasson, nice play there. Dangerous, I'll say, but when you're confident, you're confident. She makes it happen there as Mills will chip it in. McLean back for it here for the Lynx. Chipped up the far side. Somerville holds the line. Had it poked off her stick as Beck's back out there. Now Garnett couldn't find the loose puck. Power will leave it there. 17 seconds left to go. Gabriel in behind her own net now. A little push back from the Kraken late in the period. Back to the point. Marshall nearly turned it over. Beck's a little bit of time, but not much, as she drops it back for Boutelier, but couldn't quite get it to go. Chipped back out into the neutral zone, and that's going to do it here for 40 minutes. Still a 1-0 lead for the Cape Breton Lynx after 40 minutes of play. The shots on goal, 35-10 here in favor of Cape Breton, so we'll step aside for a moment. We'll be back with third period action when we return. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. Third period action from this Maritime Major Girls Hockey League action between the Cape Breton Lynx and the Fundy Kraken. The Lynx looking to hold on to this 1-0 lead and get a little bit of payback from last night's loss. The Kraken on the other side looking to double down on the weekend series here and continue to build off that win last night. So 35-10, the shots on goal here to start. First touches are going to go to the Kraken here as LeBlanc trying to exit the zone. There's Garnett now. Cross ice pass. Icing waved off almost immediately. Soda Town scoreboard once again. The Surge leading the Flames 2-0 over in Fredericton. And the Subway Selects and the Moncton Rockets underway now. Just 3 minutes into the first period. No score just yet. Back to gameplay here at the Q-Plex. Chipped off the wall. McGinnis. Good heads-up play there. She gets the red line and fires it in deep. Shot towards goal. That goes wide. Now picked up by Dickey. Dickey into the middle. She runs into Austin. That shook her up a little bit. Centering pass. It's through, but nobody home there for the Lynx. Worked around to the far side. Vickers activates from the left point, fires it towards the goal. Good tie up in front there with Dickey and Landry. Another shot there, that goes wide. Vickers towards the goal, surprise shot, bouncing puck go front. Angioni couldn't knock it down. Morel holds the line, gets it back down inside the zone. Boutlier and Landry tangle up down there on the left side of your screen. Left side turned over. Landry. She's going to carry. Drops it back for Morel. Good look there. Shot to the goal. Dickey stopped it before it could get there. Landry. Spin off. Oh, front. McEachran. Great tie up in front. As Little can't get her stick free. Now is Vickers in to help out. Towards the goal once again, kicked aside. Towards the goal, that one goes through the high slot. Little, looking for that puck, was unable to get it out now as it's held in once again here by the Lynx. Good press here to start this third period. Dickey, cross for Boutlier, pulls it off the wall. She'll softly chip it over to the right side. That one will stay inside the zone. Morel activating. Back up top to the point. McEachran was hanging back to take the place for Morel. A very small but large detail of the game, large impact detail. As that's how it goes, folks. You slot back and handle the defensive position for the defense that jumped into the play, and 9 times out of 10, that puck finds you at that point. Duguay now intercepts that pass before it could get to Peruch, but Peruch able to find it and get it in deep. Into the corner. Duguay trying to break out once again. Back to the point. McLean able to find it. She fires that towards a goal, and that goes wide. Back to the point. Held in once again by Morel. Now it's poked free. Wilcox couldn't handle it, but the puck will get into the neutral zone and back down towards the Lynx zone. Tipped up the left side. Andrews couldn't handle. Duguay had that poked off her stick. Pinned up against the wall now. Noteworthy took her time and made a nice pass. It's going to be back down inside the Kraken zone here. Up the left side now. Heads up over there. Into the zone. LeBlanc had it poked off her stick. Turned it over just inside the line though. Austin loops back in her own zone. Backhand pass up the side that she was on, the left wing side. It's Marshall now. Partnered across. Through the middle. Coleman got a skate on it now as Garnett's going to try and find that loose puck. She'll pick it up just inside the zone. Great go pass along the way. Angioni couldn't get it to go. Garnett chipped that one into the bench, and that's going to be our first whistle here. So we'll have a face-off here in the neutral zone. taken by the Lynx off the faceoff. Morel moves it up to her winger. Landry back. She'll move it up for Peruch. That's where I would like to see her open up there instead of trying to look backwards and pick that up on the backhand. Open yourself up. Use that mohawk turn that is so important here on your edges. You open yourself up and maintain your momentum, and that allows you to find that puck and keep your speed, but no harm done as the puck does get in deep, and Vickers is going to cycle it in deep. Dickey couldn't get it. It was Landry taking on two Kraken defenders in the corner. Dickey on that loose puck. She outmuscles Landry. Tries to fire that through the middle and does. Vickers has to wait for her team to tag up, and she does. Perfectly timed. And she'll carry it in deep. Stopped up. Marshall was on her. McEachran once again slotting back for the defense. Shot towards a goal, and that goes through some feet. Bex, she's going to cut back the other way. Austin. Bex trying to cut back once again. Now Bootlier in to help out her. She'll clear the puck. She's going to chip it to herself. So we're unable to get the puck out this time. Bex. She's going to carry it now. Heidi Bex taken down as she kind of ran into her own teammate there, but now Bootlier is going to carry. Bootlier in over the line. Shot there, blocked away by Power. Inside the zone now. Opportunity here. Sydney Mills in on the forecheck. Had the puck poked off her stick. Vickers up the right side. That's going to miss everybody, and that's going to go all the way down for icing. So 13 and a half left to go here in this third period. A 1-0 lead from the Lynx on a goal from Austin earlier in the first period, and that's the only goal so far here in this game. These shots on goal, I'm not sure if you can see it in your screen there, but 37-11 in favor of the Lynx. Boolier had that chip by her. Now is Cremo with Lawand, 2-on-1. Cremo fired one at the goal. The rebound came loose. Lawand will find it. Now Cremo coming in late. Opportunity there was McNeil trying to hit the 1T and missed on it. So it'll roll into the corner as McLean fanned on her attempt. Duguay now. She's going to cut back in behind her own net. McNeil stays in on the forecheck. LeBlanc to help out defensively. Angioni now joins the party, as well as Garnett. Looked around, Brown looking for her option. She's going to move it up top. Gets by the intended target, but it's McLean there to help out. Angioni, shot there, in front, blocked, whack at it there. That one just goes by the post. Poked free. To the middle, an opportunity. Angioni shot there. That goes off the end wall, bouncing puck. Back and behind the goal. Angioni tried to center it. Garnett is going to try and poke it free. She's going to battle. She's going to come away with that puck. Now she moves to the right side. Garnett and over the line. Shot there. Power squares it up and she'll hang on. So, face-off down now. Right off the draw, an opportunity out front there, and Power up to the task. Puck comes free. Anxious moments there for both teams. Somerville runs into Gabriel. Gabriel returns the favor. Looked back at the ref, usually a tall tale sign. That's a penalty. Andrews now. 2-on-1, trying to center for Landry. Good defensive play there from Marshall. Or sorry, that was Wilcox. She came back defensively to help out as the forward, and that eliminated that opportunity. Landry trying to work out of the corner. Morel. Gillian goes and finishes her check. Not something you say too often here in the U18 female league, but they definitely do let them use the body a bit there. In front was Andrew. She probably had more time than she thought. She just tried to whack one home in the backhand, but it rolled up off her stick and in behind the goal. It's McEachran now. She cycles it Towards the middle of the ice, Morel finds that loose puck. She's going to walk in, shoot there, off the glove, and it rolled through the crease, but Noteworthy was there to make sure that that one didn't find the back of the net. Now she's going to carry it up ice. Landry, stick lift. She steals it, turns, fires it back down into the corner. It's going to land it behind the net. She's going to head for a change here. Sticky will set up in behind the goal. She's going to move it up for Wilcox. Wilcox through the middle, nearly turned it over. Coleman poked it free. She's going to have to get back on defense here as Vickers walked in. Blocker save made by Chason. You could see the hole from up here. Chason once again. Coleman through the middle. Vickers over to intercept. She carries it in deep. Cut back move to the middle. Vickers couldn't hang on long enough to get a shot as Peruch in to help. Marshall stick down, took that puck away from her. Now Bex goes against the grain. She's going to push it to herself. Screamo pushes her off the puck. Peruch finds it. Nice move. Tried to sneak one in. The rebound's loose. Sitting at the top of the crease. In to help out was Dickey. All kinds of bodies in the crease down there. 2 Lynx players in the net, but they can't get the puck to go. Down low. Tipped in front. Peruch. Another save. Second save there is Chason. Great point blank on the doorstep as that one's going to go all the way down the ice. Icing waved off as McGinnis goes back to collect. Underneath the halfway mark now. Worked around all the way down. Now as Angione is going to get in there, and I'm not sure what the call was. Offside, maybe. So the face-off should be back at the defensive blue line where the pass was made, if I'm not mistaken, which I am often. Down, they're tying up off the draw. That's Austin and LeBlanc. Trying to poke it free are the Kraken. Able to poke it by McGinnis now. As Rick gets in and behind the goal. She had a goal in yesterday's game. Started the scoring off for the Kraken. She drops it there for Duguay. Duguay trying to get rid of it quick, but Austin there quickly. Now bouncing out front. Opportunity backhand save made. Power. Stick lift in front. Puck still loose. And now Power finds it and will hang on. A very, very crucial stick lift there for Danny Ray McGinnis as that puck was just sitting there in the slot with an open net. And she said, I'm not going to worry about the puck. I'm going to find the open stick and hang on. So good job she does there as this game stays 1-0. A little more anxious there for the Lynx with a 1-goal lead. The puck's down here, 9:07 left to go. Up the right side, Landry takes the outlet pass. She's going to get a step on Duguay. In over the line, Landry drags to the middle. Ran out of real estate, in behind the net, tried to center. Taken here. Turned over, though, as McEachran on the forecheck. Now Brown being tied up by Boutlier as that one rims all the way around to the far side point. Gabriel walks right to the middle. Garnett does a good job to get that stick in the shooting lane now as Duguay picks it up. She's going to chip that off the wall. Garnett looking for it. She'll find it. Down the right side. Centering, tipped in front there. Didn't quite make it to the net. Back now. Outlet pass, turned over. Brown will swing it back for McEachran. McEachran will chip it free, but it's back inside the Lynx blue line now as it goes across for Vickers. Vickers, and over the line, cuts back to the left side. She's going to have a step now. Vickers shot there off the mask of Chason. Rebound whacked off the side of the net. Still loose down there in the corner. Lawand peels it over to the crowd. She works, fires. That one goes wide all the way around to the far side. Morel following the play, holds the line. Lawand once again. And behind centering pass there, they had the player in front. Now it's turned over. A sneak attack shot there from Landry from distance is going to be covered. And they will hang on. 48 shots here for the Lynx, so 47 saves so far for Micah Chason, which puts her well over 100 saves for the 2-game total. And I'll tell you what, if those pads and that set of gear was new coming into the weekend, looks a little more worn now. That's a good sign though, folks. Puck marks on the goalie's gear, better than the mesh. So noteworthy, tangled up, Bex peels it, nice little move, couldn't get it out though. Morel logging some minutes here for the Lynx. Peruch into the corner. Up to the left side, Vickers holds the line, gets it by Garnett. Peruch into the middle. Poked free there by Lawand as she's going to get on that loose puck in the corner. Centering pass in the slot into the feet of Garnett. Turn around, Cremo shot there, goes by Chason. Bex now cuts back the other way. Heads up. Didn't even see her there and behind as they both hit the deck. They're actually exchanging a few words, but there was some laughs made, so no harm done. Heads up there. Sneaking in was Angione, and bodies flying everywhere now. Angione tried to shoot. Beck's got her stick in the lane. She's going to have to go collect that. Way around to the far side. The Kraken tired here. Lynx already able to make a change. Noteworthy trying to skate that out, but it's turned over. Angione towards the goal, and that one goes well wide. Vickers now turns, fires, tipped in front. That one was tipped in behind the goal. Angione trying to center. She does, but it was knocked off the stick. All the way in behind now. 6:25 left to go. Centering pass off the feet, cleared out of harm's way by Dickey, and she's going to try and carry it here. Dickey tangled up down there as that puck will get inside the blue line. Now Dickey lost her stick as McNeil came firing in. Behind the goal now. Chipped up the left side. McGinnis able to hold the line. Wilcox will tie her up. Duguay is going to go back here on that loose puck. She'll loop in behind her own net for protection. She's going to wheel it on the right side. Protects that puck, chips it to herself. Foot race here. McGinnis, though, gets back there first. Duguay, all four Kraken in on the forecheck here. One pass is going to beat all three. Now it's going to be a stretch pass there for Landry, just out of her reach. Boutlier was the lone soldier back here, as now it's going to be fired through the middle. Will they get it out? They will. Wilcox just going to fire that. It's not going to have enough, though, as it hit the official, so icing waved off. Back for it is McLean. She's going to have a peek. Stretch pass for Landry at the far blue. That one rolls off her stick now. Dickey cut back move. She gets tangled up. Chipped inside the zone, but not deep. That was going to be poked free. All the way back inside the zone, Gabriel. He's going to take on LeBlanc. Gilliand couldn't come away with it. Chipped up to the blue line and not out. Underneath 5 minutes to go here now. Morel rims it around to the far side. Landry picks it up on the half wall. Fires it up and over. Didn't have a direct route, so she makes sure to get it out. LeBlanc fires that in deep. Gabriel back for it. She's got Little on her. Little will get in on the forecheck now. She's going to head to the bench to complete the change as Gabriel over for Morel. Good clean breakout here from the Lynx. Austin is going to get that red line and get it in deep, and they will complete the full sail change here as the Kraken head back for the puck, turn it over inside their own zone. Now it's going to come out into the neutral zone. Heads up there as Beck's in behind the D, and great defensive play there from McLean. All the way back down. Dickey battling, runs into Brown down there on the left side of your screen. Pinned up against the wall. Time ticking away here for the Kraken. Behind the goal. In the far corner now. Cremo takes a bump there from Beck's. Play continues towards the goal. That one goes wide into the far corner. McLean spins, fires. That one off the glove of Chason. Behind the goal now. Beck's. Coleman battling, trying to get that puck free. It'll get out into the neutral zone where Garnett was in behind the defense. Now Garnett's going to find it. She's going to go 1-on-5 here. She's just going to fire that in. That goes wide, and she's going to head to the bench for a change here. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left to go. Up the left side. That's going to get all the way down for icing if it has enough. And it will now, as the Kraken will get a much-needed offensive zone face-off. The Lynx won't be able to change. So down to the left side of power we go. 1-0 lead stands here. 48-15 the shots in favor of the Lynx. And they hold a 1-goal lead here. That face-off is won cleanly by them. And behind the goal now for Vickers. Vickers, she sees a lane and she's going to take it. One of the fastest first steps here in this league. Opportunity down the left side. Shot there, and Chason makes the pad save. That would have been the dagger there for the Kraken. 2:45 left to go now. Peruch She's just going to take it right to the hoop. Couldn't get it by the stick of Chason, though, as it moves back up to the point. Ricketson couldn't find it. Duguay jumps into the play. Noteworthy down the right side. She's going to continue on here. Tries to take away that lane on the wall. Couldn't find the loose puck. Duguay takes a bump there from McNeil's. That one's going to be sent the length of the ice. And that's going to be an icing call here. 2:08 left to go now, and the Kraken so it's not going to be an icing, actually. Or at least they're discussing here. So yes, this faceoff is going to come to center ice. So that allowed the Lynx to change. Good break there for them. Kraken, we're looking for the offensive zone faceoff, but we'll go to neutral territory there in the middle. So 2-minute warning here now. McGinnis, back for Gabriel. Turned it over at the blue line. Fired it towards the goal. That one goes high and wide. Thought for a moment it had a chance. Now as McGinnis will chip it off the wall. McEachran got it outside the line, but only for a moment. Now as the Kraken have to tag up. LeBlanc cut back. She's going to get it in deep. 98 seconds left to go now. Gabriel picks it up in her own zone. She'll cut through the middle. We'll keep an eye on the Kraken goaltender here as Bex lofted up over. Chason looking at the bench for instruction. Kraken have to get possession here. 1:18 left to go. Inside the zone. Landry in behind the D now. Down the left side with a chance to put the game away. As now Chason is just going to play it. And now she'll have to cover it as it gets lodged into her gear. So 1:03 left to go here now. This will be the longest minute for the players and the parents looking. And speaking from experience, that minute cannot go slow enough here. But an offensive zone faceoff is a good place to start here with a 1-goal lead. Keep that puck 200 feet from your net and you'll be in good shape. Looking for that loose puck. Chip back to the point. Vickers turns, fires. Last minute to play here in the third period. A little bit of urgency now from the Kraken. Got to get that puck up ice, get the goalie out, get the extra attacker on, and get to work down there. Chipped free. Garnett broke her stick, and the Tendy picked up her backup real quick there. A shout out to her. And that would be Mara Gillespie. That stick right into play there. Had to watch it as Chason was heading to the bench, but they weren't able to get the puck inside the zone. Now it's going to come back out to the blue line. Chipped free, Landry. Good job to eat some ice. Back for McLean. McLean turns, fires, shot there, loose. Opportunity. Oh, what a save. Chason with the blocker in the dying seconds of this game. And she comes up big once again. But time not on the Kraken side here as Vickers is going to walk in. They just aren't able to get any puck possession here long enough to get some zone time as Chason had to come up huge there for her team. So just 6.6 seconds left to go, and I mean, we've seen crazier things in hockey, but a face-off win here by the Lynx will pretty much seal it. And even still, a face-off win by the Kraken is going to be tough to get up ice in time. They push it forward. Vickers just going to fire that in deep. Love that play from Vickers. Doesn't want to risk it, and that's going to do it here. The Lynx hold on in a first period goal, and they're going to take a 1-0 victory. 15 save shutout for Ellie Power, and the Lynx get the retribution they wanted after taking a loss last night. They get back into the win column. They'll move their record to 6-8, and the Kraken fall to 1-15. But another fantastic outing from goaltender Mika Chason. 51 saves here in the Sunday morning game, so a 2-game total of 112, not including the shootout, so commendable effort from both teams. But the Lynx come away with the win, so thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate having you. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage, and we will see you at the next one.